They didn't scream. They didn't run. They didn't leave bodies behind. One moment they were moving through the mountains. The next, entire men were missing. No tracks, no blood, no radio calls. Locals warned them to turn back. They didn't listen, and the mountain did what it had done before. It erased them. In 1968, a U.S. military aircraft disappeared with 27 people on board. No distress call, no explosion, no wreckage. One moment, the aircraft was visible on radar. The next, it was gone. That disappearance shocked the military world, but it was not the only operation that ended without answers that year. Because while attention was focused on the skies, another mission was unfolding far from any radar screen. No engines, no wings, no signals visible from above. Just men walking into the cold. The operation never received a name. It never appeared in official reports. There were no medals, no investigations, no public records. Only a quiet order. Cross the mountain range on foot. Move silently. Leave no trace. The region was remote, isolated, buried under snow for most of the year. Maps showed elevation lines and blank spaces. But locals knew those blanks had meaning. They called the place dangerous, cursed, a mountain that did not return people who entered it. Hunters avoided it. Travelers took long detours. Stories were whispered, never written. The soldiers dismissed every warning. They had training. They had equipment. They had survived war zones far more hostile than a frozen mountain. They believed nature could be measured, mapped, controlled. The crossing began before sunrise. The temperature was already below zero. Snow covered the ground in uneven layers. The wind cut through clothing like blades. Visibility was limited, but manageable. At first, everything went exactly as planned. Formation held, pace steady, radio checks clear. Then the first man disappeared. No sound, no movement. One moment he was walking behind the group. The next moment there was only empty space. They stopped, counted heads, one missing. They searched the immediate area, found his footprints in the snow, followed them carefully. And then, the tracks simply ended. No fall, no slide, no disturbance. As if the ground itself had opened and closed again. Command was notified. The order came back quickly. Continue the mission. An hour later, 2 more soldiers vanished. This time, no one suggested superstition. The formation tightened, distances shortened, weapons stayed ready. The weather worsened. Snowfall increased. The wind howled through the mountain passes. Compasses began to behave strangely, needles drifting, refusing to settle. Radio interference followed soon after. Voices cut out mid-sentence. Static replaced clear communication. Another disappearance. Then another. Entire sections of the unit were gone. No avalanches, no enemy contact, no signs of struggle. Just absence. Panic spread quietly. Men stopped speaking unless necessary, eyes constantly scanning the fog, the rocks, the shadows between trees. Some claimed they heard footsteps behind them. Others believed they heard their names being called. The commander ordered camp to be set before nightfall. Tents were raised, perimeter secured. Head count repeated. By morning, 3 tents were empty, unzipped from the inside. Sleeping bags untouched, no footprints leading away. The radios failed completely, batteries drained without explanation. Maps no longer matched the terrain. Landmarks were missing, or had never existed. One soldier was found alone at dawn, wandering through the snow, disoriented, barely conscious. He could not explain what happened, could not say where he had been. He died hours later. No injuries, no signs of exposure, just fear frozen on his face. The remaining soldiers tried to retreat, but the mountain did not release them. Another group vanished during descent. Another never returned from scouting. By the third night, fewer than half the unit remained. Sleep became impossible. Trust in their senses vanished. Some believed they were being hunted. Others believed they were already dead. The final transmission was never recorded. No distress signal, no coordinates. When search teams arrived weeks later, they found abandoned equipment, weapons stacked neatly, backpacks left behind, but no bodies, no blood, no remains. The operation was classified, sealed, erased. No official explanation was ever released. The mountain still stands, cold, silent, unchanged, and to this day no one knows what truly happened to the men who tried to cross it. Some places do not need weapons. They do not need enemies. They simply remove those who enter, and they never give them back. The official explanation ended there. No further reports, no follow-up investigations. But the story did not end on the mountain. Years later, fragments began to surface. Not documents, not photographs, but patterns. Other expeditions, other disappearances, different years, different groups, the same region. Hikers vanished without signs of violence. Search teams found camps abandoned in the same way. Tents left standing, equipment untouched, footprints ending abruptly in the snow. Local elders spoke of the mountain in the same way they always had, as a place that listens, a place that waits. They said the mountain does not kill quickly. It confuses, it separates, it removes people one by one. Weather records from that period showed nothing unusual. No storms, no sudden temperature drops, nothing that could explain mass disappearance. Military analysts later questioned the compasses recovered from nearby operations. Some showed signs of extreme magnetic disturbance. Others were permanently damaged. But even that did not explain why experienced soldiers would simply walk away into nothing. There were no signs of panic in the abandoned equipment, no signs of a desperate escape. Everything was placed carefully, as if the men had believed they would return. One classified memo described the area as geographically unstable. Another used a different phrase: psychologically disruptive terrain. No further explanation followed. Satellite imagery decades later revealed something even stranger. The mountain's shape had not changed, but snow patterns shifted in ways that did not match wind data, as if something beneath the surface was affecting the landscape itself. Some researchers suggested underground caverns. Others spoke of natural gas emissions. None of the theories could explain the precision. Men vanished one by one, then in pairs, then entire groups. Never all at once, never chaotically, always methodically, as if the mountain was selecting. The final classified note related to the operation contained a single sentence: this region should not be crossed on foot. No warning labels, no restricted zones. Just that sentence. Today, the mountain remains open. Tourists pass nearby. Hikers photograph the peaks from a distance, but very few attempt to cross it directly. Those who do rarely speak about it afterward, and some are never heard from again. The mountain does not announce itself. It does not roar. It does not collapse. It waits, and when conditions are right, it removes those who believe they are prepared, just as it did before, just as it will again.